Hey Capricorn, thank you so much for joining me for your Written in the Stars 5-minute forecast for March. My name is Madeline and I've been studying astrology and tarot for a little over 20 years, and I just kind of want to give you an idea of what energy waves are kind of coming into your life this month so you can surf them a little better and invite more magic into your life every day. That is what astrology is all about. Okay, so we've got a lot of important stuff going on this month. We have a Venus retrograde in the first week of March, which a lot of people get really kind of like up in arms about. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing working in your favor, which we'll get to. But even before that, on March 2nd, there's going to be a really powerful angle between two huge planetary power players. Generous Jupiter is down here in your house of career and destiny, and he will directly oppose revolutionary Uranus in your house of home and family, where you can see there will be a lot of action happening this month. And this aspect, it's a long-term aspect, so we'll be feeling the benefits for a few months, but when they oppose each other exactly, when that angle becomes exact, things get really intense and there tend to be these huge breakthroughs. This is a very good thing. It's known in classical astrology as the thank the Lord aspect, actually, because it's like after a period of stagnation, after a period of boredom or a rut or a feeling of just like I can't get ahead, this is like an explosion of progress and like, well, a breakthrough, like the way that you go to therapy and you talk about something for years and all of a sudden you have a breakthrough. This is your chance to break through and move up, especially when it comes to your career and expanding as a result of making some really beneficial changes to your home life and paying some attention to your home life. Okay, so Jupiter being the planet of growth and expansion and Uranus ruling, you know, shocks and sudden progress and massive change. It's like, I kind of like to think of this as Big Bang type energy because it's this like, boom, like evolution, like evolve right now. But it doesn't feel like pressure. It feels like, in fact, it feels like someone kind of took the pressure off and all of a sudden you're allowed to like expand into everything that you are. Okay, so this is like, this is an amazing dynamic to be coming in with your work-life balance. And for you, Capricorn, your work is really important to you. So that's why, like, your astrology, your stars are asking you to like, okay, well, what about the nest? What about the place, the platform from which you spring into your career and the world stage? How are things, you know, how are things down on the farm, Capricorn? Okay, so it's a fantastic time to reach these new heights. And it's like the sudden progress comes as a result of, like I said, changes that you make. So you could actually change the place that you live, or you could change the way that you live in such a way that makes you feel more powerful, more established. So some of you may be asking questions about the way that your home works and even just feeling like doing things as mundane as like, I want to declutter, I want to rearrange, I want to redecorate, like we need to change up the space here. Even stuff as simple as that, if it makes you feel better and makes you feel stronger and more effective, it's working in your favor, okay? So please know that everything you do around the house affects the career and vice versa. Okay, so you could also, I want to say, have a conversation that really breaks through old patterns and helps you cultivate a more loving, peaceful home. Of course, the way that you react to the conversation is entirely up to you, but you've got so much action going on here. And I mean, just a few days after this opposition of breakthroughs, that day, that opposition, yeah, that causes those breakthroughs, Venus on March 6th will go retrograde in your house of home and family. And she'll actually be retrograde until April 15th, but during March, she'll stay here in this house. And she's having you review your closest relationships in your actual home. So like I said, you may feel like redecorating and decluttering, and some of you may even feel the impetus to like, I just gotta get out of here, I gotta move. Like, this hasn't worked since day one, and I'm getting out. Okay, so it's like, and okay, that decluttering and beneficial changes, that applies to your emotional and psychological closet just as much as it applies to your physical closet. Like, is there baggage you're holding on to around your family, around your roots, or even around the people you live with now that could be let go and that would lighten your load and allow you to move forward in a better way? Now is a really good time to look back and ask yourself those questions and see if you can come to some resolutions. You could have a beneficial conversation, as I said, with somebody and say, hey, remember when this happened? It kind of upset me. Can we do something about that? Like, you can have some really good closure and bring some peace to old issues that really didn't get resolved when Venus is in retrograde. And like I said, it's also just going to be a really good time to redecorate and spruce things up and make your home into a place that you can enjoy a little bit more. Okay, so this is super fun. A couple days later, on March 10th, motivated Mars, the planet of energy and action, moves into your house of creativity, romance, and fun. So this is an awesome house. This is the house of your inner child. This is the house of, like, get outside and play. So you could be feeling, with Martian energy there, really motivated to create, really motivated to have fun, really motivated, even like, this is the house of children. So those of you that have children, your relationships with them, like, they could intensify, or you could just feel more childlike yourself. Like, let's go outside and play hopscotch. Let's play hide and seek. Like, thinking outside the box is going to become a lot easier. And to see this beneficial, like, Jupiter here in your house of career, and then Mars moving into the creativity house on, like, I just love it. I get really excited for the fact that I feel like you have huge level ups coming this month, and you're going to feel just happier. That's what I really feel, is you're going to feel much happier. All of this action in April, it's going to start moving into your 5th house, so things get much happier. So it's like, take March to really get your foundation set up and taken care of and built in a really beautiful way. That's the other thing that Venus retrograde is giving you a chance to do, is like, fill in some potholes now so that you have like a smoother, happier, more pleasurable ride down the road. Okay? So the next thing, I want to say that this is also the house of love affairs. So some of you might have strong attractions or major chemistry, and if it's not romance, it's like creativity. So you could have a love affair with a project that you're doing. And there's like this really wonderful chance for your skills, your natural talents, the stuff that you were even able to do as a child, that stuff could make you some money. That stuff could give you, promoting your skills is going to benefit you now, okay? And what I also want to say about the love affair stuff is that when Mars is in that house, like I said, there's major heat. And this is the house of love affairs, not so much like partners. That's the 7th house. The 5th house is like, woohoo, like, you're sexy. Like, I feel infatuated. I feel inspired. I just feel attracted. I don't even know if there's something more there yet, but damn, there's some great chemistry. So with Mars, and it's like Venus is love, Mars is sex. So again, Mars being in there, some of y'all are going to be feeling really hot. Some of y'all are going to be feeling like you're seeking a partner, or you're just having some really great sex with the one that you have. But what I want to say is, for those of you who are not attached, or even those of you who are attached but like you do a little bit of like innocent flirtation on the side or whatever, be careful where you aim that flirtation, because like a little wink could like result in an eventual stalking charge if you're not careful. Like, you may not be aware, but your powers of attraction are really strong right now, so careful where you point them. Okay, so the party really gets started in your house of home and family starting on March 14th, when Mercury moves in, and then a week later the Sun joins him, and then a week after that you have that new moon in your house of home and family. So the new moon in Aries is always important, because that's like the astrological new year. It's the spring equinox. Winter is ending and spring is about to spring and things begin to grow again. So all of this like fabulous Jupiter-Uranus opposition stuff, and then that new moon, it's just like, clean the slate. This is like a new opportunity. This is a new chance. This is a chance to like throw out all the baggage, throw out all the crap, lighten your load so you can walk forward with a lighter heart and have a lot more fun. So some of you may have been feeling, like I said, stuck in a rut and ready to go. And if you're ready to go, now's going to be a great time. Whereas some of you may have been feeling like you lack security and you lack groundedness, and by asking yourself some good questions and thinking about what would make you feel secure and rooted and grounded in the good way, you can come up with some amazing answers. You can come up with some amazing progress. So ask yourself if you feel at home. At home. Do you feel safe? Do you feel comforted? Do you feel a strong desire to purge objects, to purge patterns, to purge old bullshit, really, whether it's like the dynamic between you and people you live with or the stuff. Like, I don't use this stuff and it's just taking up space. Nature abhors a vacuum. Capricorn, if you get rid of the shit that you don't need, whether it's the stuff, the people, the relationships, the mental baggage, when you get rid of that shit, you make a big, beautiful space for new things to move in. And especially with this Jupiter-Uranus energy you've got going, it could really bring in like some miraculous stuff, okay? Remember that generous Jupiter is using all this energy to lift you up to prominence, to lift you up to the place that you're really meant to be. So the more that you drop the crap that you don't need, the more that you can get some great perspective and see how far you can really go. So thank you so much for joining me, Capricorn. I hope that this video helps you create an amazing March. I'd love to hear from you if you have insights or questions that you'd like to share, whether it's in the comments below or you find me on social media, all of which I've linked below. I'd just love to hear what you think about this. And if you want me to take a look at your personal chart and give you a much more intricate, in-depth idea of what's going on for you astrologically, I've linked my shop below as well, and I would love to work with you one-on-one. I so appreciate you joining me. I hope you have a great month and that I see you in April. Bye, Capricorn!